Welcome everyone to my channel. This is Leroy's Tea, where I spill the tea of all things positive. Today, I'm very blessed to have an amazing young woman to join me in the chat today. Her name is Dawny Jeswin, and she is a coach who you can find on Instagram. And welcome. And I'll let you go ahead and do the introduction for yourself. That might work better.
Thank you, Leroy, for first of all this invite that you have brought me to your channel where you spill the tea and spill the tea of all beautiful things. So I'm so happy, excited to have a chat with you. As you introduced, I'm Dawny. I'm a life coach, and I majorly deal with normally everyone, but I would like to always help out women because women too, they have to deal with a lot of roles in life, like, on the office part, in the home, as a mother, as a wife. So I always believe in bringing harmony in their life. Know how to handle all those things together without letting loose of one thing. So that is what I would like to work with. And why I chose this, because I always had a trouble at some point in my life where I couldn't handle it. Okay, so for me, the tagline is, until I transform myself, I can't transform anyone. So I've gone through that transformation, and that's how I decided, let me help others, to find that inner beauty, to see that harmony between all realms of life. Okay. That's why I took life coaching.
That's beautiful. I just noticed something. You and I are both wearing the same color almost.
Oh, yeah.
Synchronicity of things, right?
Yes, that's true.
So good. And for those who are watching, I don't know much about Dawny personally. I discovered her on Instagram. I so loved the interviews that you had done with other women and raising their spirits and helping to support them in the business ventures that they're going into. And I find that so wonderful and inspiring. And I even get inspiration, even though I'm not the intended audience necessarily, but still you get inspired from whatever people share. And I so thank you for how you do that. I think it's an amazing, amazing experience. In our pre-interview before we started this, we kind of touched on mindfulness a little bit. And I was wondering if you would like to go into that and have that conversation, or?
Yeah, because mindfulness as such was totally an alien subject for me. Okay. I never knew such kind of mindfulness unless I actually fell into the pool of mindfulness. If you see, we all have the same mentor, and she took us through a wonderful journey of mindfulness. Mm-hmm. And for me, being aware has been helped to a great extent. I should know, to a great extent, first of all, on who am I, like, who am I, if at the physical front, who am I? What are my strength, weakness, and what and all talents I have? All these came into my essence. I'm able to realize that, okay, I have all these strengths and weaknesses. But when I came into the weakness part, it actually took me to find out why I got those weaknesses. Because when we were born as beautiful kids, right? Beautiful child, full of energy, enthusiasm, loving our body, loving the people around us, smiling, laughing. And when did this weakness come into me? That was what I was actually thinking. And mindfulness actually helped me get into those inner child, my inner child's wounds and pains, all those came up. And it was like that onion peel. It just came out one after the other, one after the other, and it still comes out. And it's not that it's
Exactly.
not, it's just over. So I use mindfulness as my basic tool for my coaching,
Oh,
because even in Indian culture, it is actually called as awareness.
mm,
And awareness goes back very long back to those rishis, those who were in the Himalayas doing the meditation. And at that point, they have talked about awareness.
mm,
They have talked about unity, the oneness concept.
right.
And starting with Kartika, I learned about mindfulness, which made me really curious to go deep into it. So I went through all those mm, rishi stuffs, no? All those deep meditations and deep analysis, which actually helped me to find out what are the actual sources of our pains, like how each and every energy level changes, and how we are able to connect with that higher self. You can call it divine, God, whatever by its name. And that actually helped me to um, transform myself. And so that's the reason I use mindfulness as the basis for my coaching.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's something I had noticed for myself as well, is the level of calm and stillness that you can reach when you are able to uncover those situations of the past that need to be healed. There's a definition I'd like to share with everyone, and this is from the woman that we had both received classes from, Kartik Anar of Synchro Shakti Academy. And the definition is: mindfulness is the natural ability to observe and dissolve thoughts, emotions, and behaviors arising in the present moment without offering judgment or resistance. That's a lot to swallow.
Yes, yes, yes.
And yeah, and it takes time to go through that. And people I have worked with, they kind of had to learn to share that with them, and not to rush, because it is an experience. It is something that you kind of live through and everything. In terms of your coaching experience, I mean, you've shared why you got into it. Is there anything about that has surprised you with your interaction with others? Is there anything that was like, wow, I was really shocked by that, or that kind of thing?
Yeah, I had experiences when we call it those aha moments, right? When I get a feedback from my client saying, I want to book one more session because you gave me a really surprising moment in my life where I realized, oh, this is that. You get that bulb on moment, aha moment. So there have been many clients who have told me, there are some clients who are actually into this, but still they call for some clarifications or, some chit chats, and we talk for hours. And finally they say, in that chat, I realized, oh, this is what it is. So those kind of aha moments, actually, I was not aware that I could be able to help people in that way.
Exactly.
The amount of knowledge we have, those calmness to hear someone, to give an ear to them and listen to them. Actually, listening is the first healing. If you say, the first healing starts from listening to a person. And coaches are meant for that. They have to listen. And one thing I would say in your mindfulness definition, which we said, those thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Wonderful 3 things to work with: thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Because we always say it's event plus response is outcome. So the event is always there. It's maybe COVID, it can be traffic, it can be your wife, it can be your kids. So in your life, the event is always there. It cannot go. It's only a response to the event can change the outcome. now the response is in these three things: thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. So if you learn to master these three, then it's wonderful. You will be like, you can handle any situation in life with grace. And that's what all we as humans want to, right? We want just peace in life. We want everything. We want money, we want fame, we want everything. But ultimately, we want also peace in life, where we are calm, calm at mind. So working on your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors is the key.
Exactly. And it's that sense too of connecting to our soul self, to our authentic self. Sometimes I notice in working with others, they get too attached to trying to, I want to attract all this money to make myself happy, and understand that money is needed to accomplish certain things. But they also have to learn that that's not where your happiness is. It has to come from within. And that's one of the things I had discovered in being in this world of mindfulness and opening up to that. One of the things I have discovered for me personally is how I so often get messages from the universe. And I'm only using the word universe for lack of a better term. Being under a tree, being in nature, and being in stillness. And a dear friend of mine told me recently, she says, the moment that you stop asking a question is when you receive the answer. And it is this sense of total calm and just allowing it to come forth. It's been one of the most beautiful experiences I have had. And I'm sure you as well.
Yeah, that's another term. Like, I talk about this first A as acceptance and second A as awareness. Because acceptance is I see it as the door to awareness. Because until unless, I should say, I normally start with surrender. Because until unless you surrender your ego, you shed your ego, only then the knowledge or the wisdom from the universe will come to you. So you have to surrender yourself. So once you surrender, you can't surrender with fear. You can only surrender with trust. The whole thing lies in trust, saying that, yeah, I trust the universe. I trust in myself first, right? I trust in myself. And once you have this surrender with trust, it's not like giving up. Okay, surrender is totally different. I know you will agree with it. Yeah, it's not giving up. It's like surrender with trust, right? And that gives you to the level of accepting things. When you surrender with trust, then accept. That's the beauty of awareness, I should say. Because if these three qualities are there, then you will not ask question. As you said, you will not ask question at that point of time. You will never ask, why is this happening to me? What did I do at this point of time? Or why this person is talking like this? You will not ask anything, because you have already surrendered with trust, accepted it's that it is. So at that point is when you get, as you said, it's that point when you get the answers, right? It's at that point you get the connection, and you realize,
yeah, because actually the universe, the higher powers, the divinity in us has actually heard our questions. That they already know. It's already heard, because it's in our hearts, it's in our spirit. And to approach a life where you experience joyfulness and bliss, that is the direction that you're going to. And this is what God, for lack of a better term, again, is drawing us to, because that is our natural self. That is who we truly are. And that took a little while for me to understand, but you know, and I got there, and it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I do agree to that, because not everyone can come to that level of understanding. I was initially, when I got into coaching, I was like, I should tell the whole lot of people, this is what it is. You should understand, you should come here, you should learn this. And over a period of time, I understood, no, it can't be. You can't teach someone all these things, You have to give them time, allow themselves to understand or accept, or it comes in. See, your perception of awareness can be totally different from mine. Exactly, right? So I can't teach you awareness. As Eckhart Tolle starts his book, he says it first word, I'm not going to tell you something which you don't know. I'm going to tell you something that look into yourself. It's already with you. I'm only trying to bring it out. So awareness is something one has to develop, and not all can develop that. I'm sure of that.
Right. And it's an experience as well. And so it's so often for those who are wondering about the term ego that we're using, this is a part of our human experience that is continually trapped in the past because of past experiences, or is way too worried about the future, and just cannot exist in the now, which is where your power is, where your joy is, where your peace is. And it's on the tip of my tongue. And it's that feeling of allowing it to come forth. And one of the things I had noticed in conversations with the other students, and because I kind of acted as a volunteer pretty much, that just happened. But what was so wonderful about that, what I discovered was sometimes it's not so much that I'm giving them the answer, it's I help to ignite their journey. And then they take it from there. And of course, whatever other support they need, I'm more than happy to do that. And that's kind of the experience of being in this mindfulness experience that we're speaking of. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, your fatherly love is so much, Leroy, I should say. The entire tribe loves your wife,
Yeah. Yeah, I tease her all the time. I says, I'm because I do want to do world travel eventually. I says, and I'm going to go to India. I want to visit all my friends there. And she's like, I'm not going. It's like, I understand, because she doesn't want to travel the long air flight, that kind of stuff. It's fine. It's fine. And we just blend with it however it works out, and it's always perfect.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, no. Is there anything you wanted to share? I wasn't sure how deep to go with this, because I know this is late for you at this time, and I know you have a lot going on. But is there anything in particular that you wanted to share with the audience? Anything that you would like to say?
Okay. Yeah, I would like to say that being a woman, let me not restrict to women, but still, I work more with women. Okay, so I would like to say that it's all about what energy you hold within yourself. And that energy is what comes out of you, and that is what brings the reality in front of you. So if you see certain things which are not acceptable to you, or in the other way, if you experience certain things which are really beautiful and which you really love, everything is your energy. And if you are able to handle your energy, as I also get into these energy healings and energy meditations, okay, I also do that. So I help, and that actually help to balance the entire energy. And you don't have to work hard for that. It's not like some machinery, because your body itself is built to perform naturally. See, you don't bother about whether my respiration is happening. I have to breathe. No, you're not worried about that. You're not worried about whether your blood is pumping. Are you able to walk? Nothing. Is my food digested? No, you're not going to go for any checks or balances. The body has its inbuilt intelligence.
Very true.
And we over a period of time would have, disturbed it. So I help people to restore that energy.
Oh.
And the moment you restore it, it actually reflects in your life.
Okay.
And it reflects in your entire life. Like, even if it's your personal life, it's your spiritual life, it's your office, it's your business, love relationships, or with anything in that point of way. So that actually reflects, and that's how I help my clients to build a newer version of them. I always say, you should say a good story to you. Like we say, to my son, I say stories. To my daughter, I say stories. So I always say, think, what is the story you're telling to yourself? What's that story about you? Say, you always say, sometimes I used to say, I'm lazy. So that's a story I'm telling you, I'm lazy. So change that story, change your energy levels, and that will help you to become a better version of you. And that's why we, like coaches, are there for you people, exactly to hear what is your problems. And problems doesn't mean that it should be like heavy or big, anything like that. It could be as small as, I'm not able to handle something. And never ever be shy, thinking that, what will the other person say if I ask for a help? Somehow the culture has been taught us, no, don't ask help. If you ask help, it's so a big crime. That means you're incapable of doing things. That's what, the culture has taught us. And I should say, we should break that. You should know to ask help. And there is nothing wrong in asking help. And we are here to hear you, help you out. And let's make this world a better place to live, right?
Exactly. And it's definitely a shared journey. Is one of the things I've noticed in interacting with other people, that in those moments where I've been able to give guidance that had brought them to their healing, I too get healed from that. And it's a beautiful exchange of energy, and it's a beautiful exchange of care and compassion that we have for one another. And it's lovely. It really, really is lovely. I think the other thing I was going to say about the ego, because the ego tends to want to categorize everything, judge everything. No, you shouldn't do this because you're from that background, you live in that country. It's like, nah, forget all that. It doesn't mean anything. And I so love how you brought that out. Okay. I wasn't sure what else to ask. Maybe to help the audience understand a little bit too. When I had discovered Dawny on Instagram, and of course we knew each other from the Synchro Shakti Academy. And in our opening interview before we start recording, I just realized that we were there the same year. We started in 2008. Yeah, and just that whole experience, but my attention came to you because of what I saw you were sharing on Instagram, and it was this sense of a presence about you that I felt so joyful in your interviews, because Dawny does a lot of interviews with other women who are going through their process, and I was so taken by that, and it's like, oh my God, I have to invite her here to talk just for a little bit, nothing else. But yeah, and it's interesting for me is because I'm learning to pay attention to that. When a person speaks to me on some level, whatever it is, man, woman, even a child, sometimes you receive so much wisdom from another individual. And it's just to be still enough and calm enough to allow that to come forward and see what you discover from that, because it is a journey of self-discovery as well. And it's really interesting. So, but yeah. So perhaps,
yeah, I'm really honored, Leroy. You said that, you sensed a calmness in me, joyfulness in me. I felt really honored. Yeah, because if you see me like 2 to 3 years before, you would have never told that.
Yeah, hey, let me tell you, all the people who love me in India and in other places, if they had seen me 4 years ago, it's like, I'm not talking to this guy. I was a hot mess back then. A good person, but working through some things.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's part of the experience is, how we go through this life. But yeah, it's really, really wonderful. So if people want to reach out to you, and there are, well, anybody who comes to my channel, if they're curious to find out more about you, what is the best way to reach out to you? Is it only through Instagram or?
Yeah, I'll share the link for my Instagram for sure.
Okay.
I also have my, I share the form with my clients so that, they can directly contact me over email. So
Okay.
yeah, then that would be the best option.
Beautiful, beautiful. What I do
I'm
is
there also on other social medias, but I'm more active in Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, sure, absolutely. Yeah, and you always find the what's the word I'm looking for? The connection that works best for you. And
Yeah.
so it makes perfect sense. And and for everybody watching, all the information Dawny's going to share with me, I'm going to have it in the end credits of this video and in the description below of this video here on YouTube. Something just occurred to me too. Especially because you were talking about energy work, which I'm really, really fascinated by. Have you considered perhaps creating a small digital course and to share that experience or to guide others? I don't know if that's something that you have a thought of, or if you prefer staying in just in the coaching realm, and not to be
Yeah. I have like, I've kept it for very short. Like if you have to deal with stress,
Okay.
if it is to deal with your clarity in life. So I have a set of meditations. I've not put it together as a digital course, but I have like 2 to 3 meditations. Like for the beginner, I have a beginner set of meditations so that you don't feel, if you say the term meditation and if you're not inclined to it, people get really scary. Meditation, you have to sit straight, close your eyes, take deep breaths, and it's too scary for someone. So I have kept a set of beginners meditation so that they will be able to handle it, and it's all based on sound. We call it as nada. Nada means it's sound, right? So that they will not get scared out of it. I even do with my kids. Okay, I'll help them to, just before the exams and all, I just help them to be calm. So this as there, plus I have separately a deep meditation if you're like overstressed or over, like you are like totally disturbed, you have a problem or an issue in which you are not able to handle it. And that's a deep set of meditations. And I give like calmness meditations, like to go for a calm thing and all those things. And apart from these, I totally deal with a meditation course in which you deal with all your energy centers, right? Your 7 energy centers, that's totally separate.
Exactly.
So that's how I formulated. I have almost 4 set of courses for beginner, for stress specifically, and that's damn interesting stuff. I've been I get excited because
Sure.
I did that, and even today I did it. Like I had some totally different kind of experience, and I was like, oh come on, what I'm going to do now? And I did this, and it simply calms you. You God, you'll shift to mindfulness in just, let's say, 15 to 20 seconds. You'll be like, chill. Yeah, so that is it. So that is how I formulate it: beginner, calmness, stress, and for the full energy. For the
Gotcha.
7, we call it as chakras,
Exactly.
or yeah,
Yeah.
or in the normal thing we call it as energy centers, whatever it may be, but it all does the same.
Right.
There's,
Yeah. I'm personally, I'm very familiar with that because I took a Reiki course. I'm actually certified for Reiki 1 or something like that, Reiki 2, I forget which one. And we went into that whole conversation about what the energy centers were. As a matter of fact, I had gotten a very small course from a woman named, I think it's Milan. She's a YouTube personality, and she uses the musical voice as a healing tool to help you reach the different chakras. It's a really interesting experience. And she doesn't sing words, it's just tones that she sings. And it's an amazing experience. And it's a really beautiful thing to say.
yeah,
And that's what I so love about this community and interacting in whatever the social media connection is, because you never know what you're going to discover. And the joy of that, the beauty of that, the how much guidance that you receive. I'm sure even for me, because in finishing this video, I will go back and look to make sure the sound is right and everything. I'm going to get things from your conversation even more so deeply because looking at it a second time. But yeah, so it's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing.
yeah.
Dawny, I'm going to, perhaps we can end the talk here, but please don't go anywhere. I want to thank Dawny Jeswin so very, very much for joining me today. I think it was really good and eye-opening for me as well. And I hold each and every one of you in care, love, and compassion. Have a beautiful day. You'll see me again, and namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Leroy.
Absolutely. Okay.